Welcome to this episode of The Creative Crafters hosted by Bette Makes. And today's guest is Frances Ames, and she is Crafty Entrepreneurs Academy.podia.com. Frances Ames is a dedicated wife, entrepreneur, and passionate paper crafter hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. With over 10 years of experience using Cricut machines, she has established herself as an expert in the field, offering Cricut classes to enthusiasts all around the world. Frances started selling her paper creations online in 2008 and has since extended her career to teaching scrapbooking and card making in private groups, scrapbooking conventions, and her local craft stores. And that includes, I call her the Rhinestone Queen. So welcome, Frances. So let's tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and all about your company.
Hello, crafty entrepreneurs. My name is Frances. And I love paper crafting. That's what started my passion. And I started out with the legacy Cricut machines. So most people don't know about them, with the Personal, the Explorer, the Imagine, etc. And then I moved on to the newer ones. So I have every Cricut machine except for one. And I love making cards, 3D crafts, and recently really got into rhinestone creations using my Cricut machine. I love bling, and I love all things blingy. But to find out that I can just save so much time creating amazing rhinestone for t-shirts, for tumblers, for stickers, all kinds of things, I just wanted to share that since it was such a well-guarded secret.
You talked about you had the very early Cricut machine. So I'm assuming that you graduated up as they keep producing more machines, that gradually you're working yourself up. And you were talking about rhinestones and the Cricut machine. I'm really curious about it as to how you married the two together. You know, what was your process? How did you come up with this?
Well, it was interesting. I started exploring different social media, and I came across a gentleman. I don't know. I saw some people doing rhinestones on tumblers, and they were just individually putting one by one. And I was like, it's so beautiful, but it's too time consuming. I just don't have that kind of time to do that. And I just kept researching, and I found two people who were selling templates. And so I hired one of the people who sells supplies to train me. So I actually hired her and paid her to do a private lesson and learn how to use the software. And forget it. After that, I mean, we still communicate once a month just as friends, and and it's wonderful. So once I learned how to create my own rhinestones and the whole process, I definitely invested in that because, like I said, it was a very guarded secret. Game over. Now I'm known as the bling lady, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because the first thing I think of, because you're the first one that taught me anything about rhinestones and how I could use them. And then I bought my rhinestone kit, and now I'm actually going to take the leap and do the next step and actually create something with it. So when you're imagining what project you're going to create, so how do you come up with your ideas for, using the bling on different materials?
Well, the first thing I see is a lot of sayings, right? There's people can put their business logo, they can personalize their tumblers, and then there's for the holidays, you can have like snowflakes out of rhinestones and snowmen, and um, the designs are out there every season. We're in the United States, we have the 4th of July, you have Canada Day, you have so many different holidays. It's just a matter of, I can just see any SVG and I can say, oh, I like that idea. I like that saying. Let me use a different font. Let me use my own, designs to really create a seasonal theme. And then from there on, I then use that design and transfer it to a rhinestone design, which I can use on my Cricut machine. So I just upload that to my Cricut design space, and then my machine can cut it.
Yeah, no, you have special material that you cut for your template. Is it like a acetate? What do you use?
Great question. So there is a special material that's out there. It's called flock, and it's like a felt with a sticky back to it. So that's much more durable if I were to use any other type of material. I've tried using felt, that doesn't really work well. You could use magnetic sheets. So I'm going to start playing with different types of magnetic sheets. So that's a whole new video. And I've also used cardstock. So that's where I use my test cuts to make sure that everything looks good and make sure my measurements are correct. So when it transfers to the Cricut design space, my user can just use that design using the measurements that I give them for Cricut design. So you can use, like I said, just to repeat, you can use cardstock and you can use the special material called flock.
How do you spell that? Flock?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay. I'll have to look for that material because, when I'm doing templates, I find that sometimes stuff will slide underneath. So it sounds like it's going to stick to the surface a little better than what I imagined I could do.
So
So,
Betty, let me give you a tip. Pardon me. Betty, let me give you a tip. Use your cardstock. Cut your template out of cardstock and put it on your cutting mat. Leave it on your cutting mat. That way it's sticky and it won't shift around. And then you just move your rhinestones on top. But the other special material you're going to need is it's called hot fix tape. And it's inexpensive. It's like $1 or $2 a foot. And that you will definitely need. And it's not the same of kind of transfer tape that you would use with your regular vinyl. It's a specialized one and it is reusable. So you're going to need to get hot fix transfer tape. And again, it's very, very inexpensive. Like I said, $1 or $2.
wow, that's incredible. Thank you for those tips because,
Mhm.
I was not sure how I was going to make this work. Let's just say I can spill things everywhere, and doesn't mean they're going to go in the way I want them. So,
Mhm.
um, what do you find the most challenging thing about what you're doing right now, other than going through a move?
The most challenging thing for me is, well, for me is, I am used to doing in-person workshops. So I'm not quite a baby boomer. I'm a Gen Xer, but there's so much technology, learning how to do video editing and how to promote myself and really growing my online presence to teach more people. I think that's to me the hardest part right now for my business. Is just learning the technology, which takes time. Designing, I took the time to learn how to use the different softwares to create these specialized designs, rhinestone design templates. So I'm comfortable there, but just making sure that people know, hey, there's an easier way to do this. And there's definitely a brand new market. If you look on Etsy, the designs are out there. You can just buy the SVGs. And the best part is you can actually buy materials there and you can see how much these templates are like people make with these designs, like tumblers for $65. Like that's amazing. And you spend maybe $7 in materials. So there's definitely, and you're cutting your time from 8 hours to 15 minutes the most. And some people do it in 5. So there you go. So it's
Wow.
really,
Yeah, no kidding. So, if you don't have to come up with your own design, and I think that's great. I know you have a lot of designs. Now, do you sell your designs as well?
I do. I do. And every course that I teach, I always provide a design for the participants so they can also make things and make money and, so they can pay for their course that way, or just because they love it and they want to make great gifts for their family.
Yeah, exactly. So how often do you research like the trends and what's happening with rhinestones? There must be some changes from when you first started to where it is now.
Yes. I use eRank. That's an app that's connected to Etsy. And I also use, Google Analytics as well. And even when I go online through YouTube Buddy and research these keywords, it's a hot topic right now. So, and there's not as much content out there for this thing. So I think that for the next year or so, my prediction is this is going to be still very popular market for people who want to just, expand their business and tap into this new trend.
Yeah, I really like the trend of rhinestones. I don't think rhinestones will ever go out of
Mhm.
fashion because you see it everywhere and more, like you say. So you seem to be our go-to person to learn all about it, which is really important. And I know you do have a course as well that you have. One was on fonts, but you must have other courses as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what courses you have?
So I have one that's primarily on how to create tumbler templates, how to make rhinestone designs for shirts as well, and also how to fix rhinestones, which is designed for fabric, and turn them into stickers so you can make decals. So let's say you have a sports team like the Cougars, you can make a rhinestone sticker for your tumbler or for your car, for your laptop that says Cougars. And that's where my second course, my new course that I'm promoting called Rhinestone Font, is how to create those personalized um, names and designs and turn them into on fabric and for hard surfaces, which I think is great versatility.
So where can people find out about these courses? Do they just go to craftyentrepreneuracademy.podia.com?
That is correct. It's going to be launched, available at the end of July. So I'm uploading all the materials now for the course, so that by the end and it's going to have 2 live sessions through Zoom, and then 2 in our private Facebook groups. So you'll have a whole month every week. You have an opportunity to ask me questions in person. So I'm not just here's the videos and goodbye. It's like, no, let me coach you through it so it's not overwhelming. I can take you through the baby steps. It's okay. I'll repeat the sessions that you need or the sections that you're confused about. I just want to make sure people have fun and enjoy and use the rhinestone templates that I provide for them.
Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. So if you're listening to this, make sure you go to craftyentrepreneuracademy.podia.com, and then you can get all the information about these courses. So where else can people find you?
So I have a YouTube channel, Crafty Entrepreneurs. I'm also on TikTok and Clapper. So you just type Crafty Entrepreneur. That's me. And you'll find me there. And of course, Facebook at Crafty Entrepreneur.
Wow, thank you. So any last tip that you want to leave the listeners with just before we go?
I really want people to understand that Cricut is a wonderful tool. You can create so much. There's a whole world out there. Rhinestones is just one new thing that's new, but you can create decals, shirts, home decor. I mean, you name it. And people, once they learn how to do that, they save a lot of money on party favors, on decor, on shirts, on gifts. And I just want people to really just don't be afraid. Just jump in and ask questions. That's why we're here, to support one another.
I want to thank you, Frances. So our guest today was Frances Ames, Crafty Entrepreneurs Academy.podia.com. Make sure you go visit her website and take a look at all of her courses. And of course, we want you to go buy her courses. And thank you, Frances. This has been wonderful.
Thank you for having me.